Good morning to all. I am Mrs. P.KAVITHA, Assistant Professor of Economics, A.D.M.COLLEGE for Women, Autonomous, NAGAPATTINAM. My topic, Entrepreneurial Traits and Types. What is meant by entrepreneur? One who undertake on enterprise, especially a contractor acting as intermediary between capital and labor. Professor Richard Cantlin was the first to introduce the entrepreneur, the term entrepreneur. He defined an entrepreneur as the agent who buys means of production at certain prices in order to combine them into product that he is going to set all the prices that are all uncertain at the moment, at which he commits himself to his cost. He illustrated his concept of entrepreneur by taking the case of farmer. A farmer pays out contractual income which are certain to the landlords and laborers and sells at price that are uncertain, who commit themselves to certain payments in expectations of uncertain receipts of the essentially risk bearing. Then what are the features? Features of entrepreneur. An enterprising nail of people who work together primarily for the purpose of making and or selling a product or services. Enterprise, whether public in or private, large or small, exists in order to produce a product or service that other consume and pay for it. And second features, an enterprise utilize the raw material, machinery, energy, space and other inputs to produce or sell. It has incurred cost of the procurement of this input. Then third features, every enterprise makes a comparison between in cost, there is input and output. Therefore, the management must have sufficient autonomy to take appropriate action to maintain to improve the success of the enterprise. The fourth features, an enterprise is a continuing entity. It is not an ad hoc effort to produce a single product, but rather a recurring effect to produce a stream of product. Some firms may go out of business after a single transaction, but this is due to failure of management or enforcement conditions and not planned or desired outcomes. And the decision making and the coordination of the resources to and the success of an enterprise depends upon the several factors, internal and external to the business of the world. Some of the factors may be under the control of the entrepreneur, but most of the factors are beyond control. Next, entrepreneurs and managers. Very often, entrepreneur and manager are used to intangible terms, and the entrepreneur as distinct spices within the business world. According to the model, people may behave on managerial or entrepreneurial style depending upon the demand of the risk. That is the characteristics of the environment of the one person. Next, the difference between too many described as follows. Innovation. The entrepreneur does not lie with the status and he will change in accordance with his her personal vision and values. He is more than inventor, and the inventor only the further by exploiting the invention commercially or by applying the invention, that is running a business on established lines. The innovator to change the factor combinations and thereby increasing productivity and profit. It deals with the day-to-day affair of going concern. An entrepreneur in a change agent, while a manager and the product of the entrepreneur is not a merged executive, through he may also appointed as one for the promotion of his company. Second one is risk taking. Entrepreneur takes calculated risk. He is not a gambler. He has faces uncertainty and assume risk. That is, the manager is less tolerant of uncertainty. He does not face the uncertainty of a new venture with its potential for failure and financial losses. He does not share in business risk. Third one, reward. An entrepreneur is motivated by the profit, while the manager is motivated by externally imposed goals and rewards. The gain of entrepreneur are uncertain and irregular, can at times be negative. The salary of manager is temporary, fixed and regular, and can never be negative. Fourth one is skill. The role of entrepreneur and manager demand different types of personal skill. An entrepreneur needs and the creative thinking and innovative ability among other skills. That is, a manager depends more on human relations and the conceptual abilities than status. An entrepreneur is self-employed and his own boss. A manager is a salaried person and he does not independent of his employer. Response to authority. The main features of distinguish manager from the entrepreneur is the ability to identify in positive, constructive way with authority to the role model. And management involve combining or coordinating resources to produce, whereas the entrepreneurs involve combining to initiate the changes of production. Management is ongoing continuous process of the entrepreneur is a discontinuous phenomenon. And Joseph Schumpeter also make a distinction between entrepreneur and manager. According to him, a manager is one who deals with the day-to-day affair of going concern. But an entrepreneur attempts to change the factor combination and thus increases the factor combinations and to productivity of profit. An entrepreneur launches a new enterprise, whereas a manager operates on existing enterprise. The role of entrepreneur and manager, however, overlap in many cases. Who start enterprise must use managerial skills and implement their innovations. And manager must entrepreneurial skills in order to manage change and innovation. And second one is qualities of successful entrepreneur. The qualities of successful entrepreneurs: an unusual creativeness, propensity of risk taking, a strong need for achievement. I deflation from 50 research of the following entrepreneurial traits. Number one, the commitment, determination, and perseverance, drive to achieve and grow, opportunity and goal orientation, taking initiative and personal responsibility, persistent problem solving, realism and a sense of humor, seeking and using feedback, internal locus of control, calculated risk taking and risk seeking, low need for status and power, integrity and reliability. The first one, capacity to assume risk. A stressful entrepreneur should have a keen observation, ability of discrimination and passions. He should be mentally alert, practically and especially intelligent. He must be a good judge of human nature and a good leader. He should be alert to new opportunities and willing to incur the risk of exploiting them. Second one is technical knowledge and willingness to change. Technical knowledge is the prime over the process of economic growth. And the innovation have led to the process of development in the world. In developing countries, the search for and applications of new technology should be the primary goal of good entrepreneur. The success depends largely upon their ability to adapt new technology. Technology means the technical knowledge implies the ability of desire and then use new and better ways of producing and marketing goods and services. A good entrepreneur is one who is interested in changing the pattern of production to suit the available resources, marketing condition and quality of output. He should have the capacity to explore new demand which occur with the growth of industry and rise in the per capita income. Third one, ability to master resources. He should have high ambitions, the will to conquer the knowledge and develop impulse, the fight and succeed, and the tendency to prove himself superior to others. According to Urban, a dynamic organization needs to be an idle man. It's a creative thinkers. It is people who can plan and initiate changes. Fourth one is ability of organization and administration. The ability of building a sound organization is the most capital skill needed and industrial development. There is a critical position. The organization builder must be able to harness the new ideas of different innovators to the best in his organization. And he should have a capacity to pick and choose the right person and to wisely delegate authority in order to multiply himself. His task is to stimulate initiative and enthusiasm as the accomplishment of enterprise objectives. A true entrepreneur must be able to inspire loyalty and hard work to rise productivity and efficiency. He requires high level of education, experience and training among the members of the managerial team. According to J.P. say, an entrepreneur is called upon to estimate with tolerant accuracy the importance of specific product, the probable amount of demand and the means of the production. At another, buy or order the raw material, collect laborers, find the consumer and give at all times a rigid attention in order to the economy. In a word, he must possess the art of the superintendence and administrations. There is a long list of entrepreneurs who were instrumental in introducing new methods, new market, new forms of industrial organizations. But they had common, they were men who valued business as a means and signs of achievement. They were people who appreciated the possibility of innovations, and they were people who tried to overcome the resistance and obstacles standard in the way of doing new things. Then, qualities of true entrepreneur. First one, capacity to take risk. Second one is capacity to work hard, average intelligence and wide knowledge, self-motivation, vision and foresight, willingness to differ consumption, imagination, initiative and evaluations, inventive ability and sound judgment, flexibility and sociability, desire to take personal responsibility, desire to seek and use feedback, persistent in the face of adversity, innovativeness and future orientation, mobility and drive, creative thinking, strong need for achievement, ability to master resources, high degree of ambition, will to conquer and impulse to fight, will to prove superior to others. Second one is types of entrepreneur. Innovative entrepreneur. Innovative entrepreneurship is aggressive assemblage of the information and result derived from sound combination of factors. Person of this type are generally aggressive in the experimentation and cleverly put attractive possibility into practice. An innovative entrepreneur sees the opportunity for introducing a new techniques of a new product or new market. May raise money to launch an enterprise, assemble the various factors to stop executives as set the organization goings. Second, adaptive or initiative entrepreneur. The kind of entrepreneur are ready to adapt successful innovations created by innovative entrepreneurs. Instead of innovating the changes themselves, they just initiate the technology and techniques innovated by others. Such entrepreneurs are particularly important into the developed and underdeveloped countries because they contribute significantly of such economics. Then imitative entrepreneur are most suitable for underdeveloped nation, because in these nations people prefer to imitate the technology, knowledge and skill already available in more advanced countries. Then third one is Fabian entrepreneur. The Fabian entrepreneur of this type are very cautious and while practicing any change. To introduce a new change or decide to adapt new methods innovated by the most enterprising of entrepreneur. The dealing are determined by customs, religion, tradition and past practices. Fourth one is drone entrepreneur. The drone entrepreneur is characterized by a refusal to adapt and opportunity to make change in production. Such entrepreneur may even suffer losses, but they do not make change in production methods. They are continue to operate in their traditional way and resist changes. When their product lost marketability and their operations become uneconomical, they are pursued out of the market. They are conventional in the sense that they seek to conventional product and ideas. The individual and institutional entrepreneurs. In the small scale sector, individual entrepreneurs are dominant. Small enterprise outnumber of the large ones in every country. Such entrepreneurs have the advantages of flexibility, quick decision making and state patterns, but a single individual can establish, operate and control of their organization up to a limit. The central functions of the entrepreneur remain the same, but the basic decision line the business, the amount of capital employed, etc. Next one, entrepreneurs by inheritance. At times, people become entrepreneurs when they inherit the family business. In India, there are a large number of family-controlled business houses. Firms in the houses are passed from one generation to another. Technologist entrepreneur, with the decline of the joint family system and the business and to rise scientific and technical institutions. Next, functions of an entrepreneur. First one, perceiving market opportunity, gaining command over scarce resources, purchasing input, marketing of the product and responding to competition, dealing with the public bureaucracy, that is concession, license and taxes. Sixth one is managing human relations within the firm, managing customers and supplier relations, managing finance, managing productions, acquiring and overseeing assembly of the factory, industrial engineering, upgrading process and product quality, and introducing new production techniques and products. Entrepreneurial motivations. The common man thinks that people go to the business and become entrepreneurs slowly to make money. The desire to earn money is not that an important motivating forces, but the entrepreneurs are motivated not by profit alone. Several research studies have been conducted in India to identify the factors that inspire entrepreneurs. The motivating factors: number one, educational background, desire to work independently in manufacturing line, occupational experience, desire to branch out of manufacturing, family background, assistance from government, assistance from financial institutions, availability of technology, that is raw material, and the demand for particular product, utilization of excess money earned from contractual estate business, started manufacturing to facilitated trading. Next one is factors internal to the entrepreneur, then factors external to the entrepreneur. Now, internal to the entrepreneur, strong desire to do something independent in life, technical knowledge, manufacturing experience, business experience in the same or related line. Next one is external factors, financial assistance from institutional sources, accommodations in industrial estate, machinery on the hire purchase, financial assistance from help to new units, heavy demand, profit margin, unsound units available in the cheaper price. The perceiving of the opportunity for the entrepreneurial system, he managed his enterprises expanding, growing, or diversifying over a period of time to establish the entrepreneurial system, and entrepreneur needs to take the steps. Search for business ideas. Second step, process the ideas, select the best ideas, assemble the necessary input resources, establish the enterprises. To conclude, the idea of may originate from the various sources and example success story of the friend or relative demanded for certain product, change the producing a substitute for an imported articles, and the industrial potential survey to meet the government agencies, and the idea of relate to existing enterprises to invest, and one who can be converted into the business. Then sources of ideas: observing markets, perspective, consumer. Observing market, there is survey can also reveal the demand and the supply position. And second one is the best he wants and the habit, that is the taste, which are going to the popular in the newer feature. And the these days goods business firmly generally conduct a survey among prospective consumer before choosing the product to be manufactured. Then development in other nation. People in underdeveloped countries generally follow the fashion trends of developed countries. For example, video, washing machine, micro oven, etc. The United States and Europe before the 80s, and the entrepreneur can discover good business ideas for keeping touch with development in advanced nations. Sometimes the entrepreneur visit foreign countries in search the ideas of new product, that is the process. Second one, study of project profile. Thank you.